Hello, friends, and welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Sarah, and I'm so excited that you are joining me for another week of Build with Sarah. So, this week here at Get Your Play Online, our theme is sports. So, for this week of Build with Sarah, we are going to build Olympic scenes with our Legos. So you can see here I've created an example. This is an Olympic swimming pool where some Olympians are racing in the swimming pool. So you can see that. So we are going to be creating a few different scenes. So one of them is a swimming pool. Another one is going to be a diving tank where Olympians will go off of high dives. And if you've ever seen the Olympics, they go off of really high diving platforms and they will try to land in the water with not a big splash. And sometimes they'll have two people dive at once and try to dive the exact same way and look like each other as they're going into the water. They'll dive like they're synchronized. And so that's another thing that we'll be building, a diving area. And we will also be building a gymnastics area. So that will be cool too. We'll be building some uneven bars, if you've ever seen those. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And some other stuff too. So I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that we can hang out and spend this time together. So go ahead and go grab your big bin of Legos. That's the best way to do these activities with me, is just to have your big bin of Legos ready, because you usually need a bunch of different kinds of Legos. So just grab your big bin and then you'll have whatever kinds of Legos that you'll need as we do our activity. So go ahead and go grab your Legos and we'll get started in a minute. All right. It got really dark. I don't know why. Cool. Yeah, so this time of Build with Sarah is just a time to relax and calm down and use your brain and get creative and have fun and just use whatever ideas that you have. You don't always have to do things the way that I do it, but you can use your own ideas and your own brain. And if you want to change things up from the way I do it, that's okay. You can just do things however you want and get creative with me. So that's what we do here on Build Time with Sarah. All right? So, also as we build today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different Olympic events that we are building, because maybe you have seen the Olympics before, but it's been a long time since we have had the Olympics on TV. So I'm going to show you some pictures of the Olympic events as we're going so that you can see in real life what we're building too, okay? Alrighty, so let's get started. I am going to take apart my swimming pool so I can rebuild it with you. So I'm going to take out my swimmers, move them off to the side. All right. Make sure if you have a younger brother or sister or a pet that could put tiny Lego pieces in their mouth and eat them or choke on them or get hurt, make sure that you are really careful about that, or you have a parent watching to make sure that it's safe and no one gets hurt, all right? That's just one thing to be careful about during this activity. All right, so I'm taking apart my thing. So the first thing that you will need is a big base piece like I have here. I have a blue one to make it look like water, but you can use any color piece that you want. So you'll just need a big base piece like this. if you have a smaller piece like this size or something, that's all right too. With the things that we're building today, they don't all need to be done a certain way. So if you have like different size pieces of different things, that's okay for today's build time. All right, and then you're going to want to start digging through your Lego bin and find lots of pieces. I'm using pieces that look like this. They're long and skinny. I'm using lots of red pieces because we're going to want pieces that divide our swimming lanes. I'll show you a picture of a real Olympic swimming pool and show you what that looks like. So if you've ever seen, let me show you. This is what a real Olympic swimming pool will look like. You can see how they have those red things, and it's yellow a little farther down, but I'm just gonna make mine red. Those things divide the swimmers' lanes so that the swimmers don't go over into each other's lanes. They stay in their own area. And so that is why I'm going to be putting red lanes on my swimming pool. So yeah, that's what it looks like in a real Olympic swimming pool. So you can see swimmers each have their own area and they swim straight down to the end of the pool. And then a lot of times they do like back and forth and lots of times. And then they see who can do it the fastest. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so just get a lot of long and skinny pieces like this, all right? So you're gonna have to dig through your Legos to find pieces like that. So I'm gonna use red, you can use yellow, you can use white, you can use black, you can use whatever color you want, all right? You could mix colors, whatever colors you can find for this, okay? So I'm just going to start by making a line down the center of my pool like this. So that will be the start of my first lane, and then we'll just like go from there, all right? So that's what it's looking like so far. Alrighty. And then once you've done your line down the center, then we're going to start making some more lanes. So now I'm going to do a line over here, okay? So you can see that I did a line down the center. Now I'm going to cover up this side over here, covering it up, and now I'm going to do a line down the middle of this part, okay? I'm going to do a line down the middle of that with my Legos. Doesn't have to be perfectly down the middle. I'm just going to guess about where the middle is and put a line of Legos. So now you can see that that is what it looks like when we have our second line of Legos down. All right. Okay, and now once we have our second line of Legos, it's okay if you don't have your second line done yet. I'll give you some time to catch up, but I'm gonna move on to my third line and then I'll give you some more time to catch up, okay? So once you have that done, then you'll just do your third line. So you're gonna come over to this area and do a line down the center of this spot, okay? Right around here. Have you ever seen swimmers swimming in a race in the pool? It's really cool. They do lots of different kinds of swimming. They call them strokes. So they do different things like they do the freestyle and the breaststroke and the butterfly and the backstroke and lots of different things. Swimmers are really strong. They have to practice lots of different things, and there's lots of different ways to swim too. So, yeah. When Olympic swimmers do their races, usually they have like different ways that they're swimming. Like they might be swimming the butterfly or the breaststroke for different races. So, yeah, there's different ways that they swim in their different races. So that's cool. They also sometimes they do relay races, which means like one person will swim for one part of the race and then they will tag their teammate and then the other teammate will have their turn swimming. So it's like they take turns swimming. So yeah, that's cool. All right. So you can see once you have your 2 lines down, and then you're going to do your 3rd line, which again is you're filling up that last spot over here. So I'm going to finish that one out with you. All right. And here is what your Olympic swimming pool should look like when you are all done. All right. So you should have 4 lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're all done. And later, you can get your swimmers and have them, oh, I have to sneeze. Nope, I don't have to sneeze. It ran away. Okay. Then you can get your swimmers and have them have a little race and see who can win the race. Okay. All right. So there is our first thing that we made today on Build with Sarah, our Olympic swimming pool. All right. So let's move on to our next thing, which is, I'll put this over to the side, our Olympic diving area. All right. Let me show you a picture so we know what we're making. So this is a picture of what it looks like at the Olympics where they do their diving. So this is an Olympic sport where some people, they train to be good divers at the Olympics, and they get medals for it if they're good divers. So you can see they have some diving boards that are really high up in the air and some diving boards that are a little bit lower down. So some people do different diving boards depending on how high up it is. They do different ones. And sometimes some people will go at the same time as another person, and they'll do like the same dive and try to look like each other, like they'll try to be synchronized. And so we're going to do that today. We're going to build some Olympic diving boards. All right. So we're going to build 2 diving boards, one that is a little bit high up in the air and then one that is higher up in the air. Okay. So that is what we're going to do. All right. So put your swimming pool to the side and let's get out another base to build our diving area. Alrighty. This is the base that I'm going to use to build my diving area. I don't have a second blue base. Maybe you do, but I don't. So what I did for this is I took a tan base and I just covered half of it with blue Legos to pretend that half of it is the pool and the other half of it is concrete, like just around the pool. So just half of it is pool, half of it is concrete. So if you want to do something like that, you can do that. But yeah, you don't have to. So let's get started with that. All right, let's get started. Okay, so to do this, we are going to need 2 ladder pieces. So go ahead and go find those. Let's find those first, all right? I have one here, but I'm going to root around in my bin to find a second one. So let's do that. I'll give you a minute to find 2 ladder pieces. One ladder needs to be shorter and one ladder needs to be taller. Did you find your ladder pieces yet? All right, I'll give you 10 more seconds to look and then we're going to get started. Alrighty, we're going to get started now. So here are my ladder pieces. I have one that is shorter and one that is a little bit longer. So I'm going to use this one for my shorter diving board and this one for my taller diving board that goes way up in the air. All right, so let's build my short diving board first. So how we build diving boards is we're going to need to make a tower, like we're going to stack up some Legos up in the air, and then we're going to stick out a long Lego to make the part that the people will walk out on and dive off of, okay? So you can pick what color you want it to be. I'm going to make mine a neutral color, like black or gray, whatever color I can find in my Lego bin. I'm just going to find a lot of those. So I'm going to be looking for the size of Legos that looks like about this size, okay? So see if you can find some Legos that look like this in whatever color you want. Again, I'm going to look for black or gray, and I'm going to do that by digging through my Lego bin, all right? So dig through and find a bunch of pieces that look like this. So I found some. So I'm going to start building them up together. You can see this is what it's looking like so far. I have 3 of them stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to need way more than that, all right? So I'm going to keep on building them up It's going to need to be as tall as this ladder, so you can see I'm definitely going to need some more. So I'm going to keep searching through my Lego bin. I want to make mine all the same color, but if you want to make yours lots of different colors, that's okay. I'm going to keep on searching. Sometimes it takes a while to find Legos that are all the same size. Haha, found the jackpot. All right. Is it tall enough? Oh, I think I need one more. Yes, that's just tall enough. Awesome. Alrighty. So, here is what it's looking like. Once you get a piece that is a little bit taller than your ladder, clip your ladder onto it, onto the top. You can see how I did that. There you go. You can see the ladder's clipped onto the top there. And you can see how it's important that my stack of Legos is a little bit taller than my ladder, because we don't want my ladder to be taller than my Legos, because then my Legos wouldn't be able to stand up. So you can see how I did that. All right. So that is step one for that. Next, we're going to need to make an even taller tower of Legos for our tall ladder. Okay, so go find even more Legos and make a tall tower for this tall ladder. Okay. Search through your Legos again and find some more for this one. Let's go. All right, where did my, oh, here it went. If you want to make this ladder a different color, or this tower a different color, go for it, because you may have used up all the Legos of one color for your first one, so it might be easier to find Legos in a different color this time around. you're looking through your Legos, I have a question for you to think about. Would you like to be an Olympian? Would you like to be someone who competes in the Olympics? Would you like that? It could be fun because it seems like the Olympics would be a lot of fun. But also you have to train really, really hard. You'd have to do a lot of hard work. You'd have to do a lot of training, a lot of hours, and you'd have to eat certain foods and do a lot of training. You have to do a lot of hard work to do it. So that's something to think about. Would you like that? I don't know. And if you would like to be an Olympian, what event or what sport would you like to do? There's lots of choices. There's Summer and Winter Olympics. So in the winter, there's events like skiing and snowboarding and ice skating and can't remember a lot of them, but there's a bunch of events. Yeah. And then in the summer, there's a bunch of events too, like swimming and volleyball and synchronized swimming, which I think is really cool. And yeah. I don't know why I can't think of more right now, but look them up if you're interested in learning more, because there are a bunch of really cool Olympic events. Alright, I am having trouble finding more black Legos in that shape, so I am going to start putting some other colors in my tower, I think. Alright. What other color could I add in? Let's see. Add in some white ones to make it taller. Because like I said, this one needs to be really tall. Alright, let's check and see if it's tall enough yet. Oh, good, it is! Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Alright. I'm gonna clip my ladder on. Awesome. I'm so glad it's tall enough. Okay. Here is my ladder for my taller one. Okay, so I ended up putting some white blocks in my taller one. And I think I'm actually going to add in a few white ones into my shorter one really quickly, just so they match. So I like my stuff to be matching. Let's do that. Okay. All done. Alrighty. Here we go. Here are our 2 ladders. Alright. Okay. So, now we have our 2 ladders for our diving tank. So, I'm going to put them on the concrete here. Here in my diving tank. So that's how I'm going to do it, just right like this. So like I said, if you have another blue base piece for your Legos, put them on this. You can have your ladders just right on the blue base piece, that works. Or if you have a different color piece, like I have a tan piece like this, you can put them like this. You can, if you have a tan piece, you can do put a bunch of blue Legos like I did to make it like a pool here. That works. Or if this took a bunch of time, so you can also just do like a blue square down here to pretend that it's a pool. That works too. Again, use your brain, get creative. Use your ideas. And now, the final step in our diving area is to make diving boards. All right? So, let's make diving boards that come out over here. So to do that, we are going to need some big Lego pieces. And you can use like whatever you want for these. I'm going to use pieces like this size. All right. Oop, I dropped it. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay. Like this size. And maybe a little tricky to get it to stay on, but use 2 hands. Be careful. If your tower breaks, it's okay. Try again, and I'm sure you can fix it. There we go. So that's what it looks like. At the swimming pool, if you've ever gone to like a swimming pool, a normal swimming pool, a lot of times the diving boards will be more skinny, but at the Olympics, the diving boards are actually less skinny. They're more wide. So that's how I try to make my diving boards. So you can see that this is what they look like for me, but they're actually not really that close to the pool. So I'm going to move them up closer so that my Olympians actually make it into the pool, because I do not want them to dive into the concrete. That would hurt. All right. There we go. That is what my Olympic diving tank looks like. All right. So that is the second thing that we made today on Build with Sarah. We're making lots of things today. All right. That is the second thing. So I'm going to get a drink, and then we're going to move on to our third thing. All right. Our third thing that we are going to make today is a gymnastics area. So grab your third Lego base. If you don't have a lot of Lego bases, you might need to take apart your swimming pool or your diving tank that you just made. All right. Okay. For this one, I am going to use this base piece. It's a little smaller, but that's okay. All right. Let me show you a picture. So the first thing that we're going to build in our gymnastics area is uneven bars. So this is an example. This is a picture of what the uneven bars look like in gymnastics in the Olympics. Oh, we got a message. in the Olympics. So you can see that there are two sets of bars, and our Olympian here, she swings from the high bars to the low bars, and she does flips on them and lots of different stuff. So, and there's also usually a person that stands next to her to make sure that if she falls off of them, she doesn't get hurt. So that is what we are going to build first. So let's do that. Alrighty. So to do that first, we are going to need to make a really long stick of tiny, tiny pieces like this. Okay, we're going to need to make 2 long sticks of that first. All right, are we ready? Let's go. And if you have any pieces that are already like built up really tall, that would be awesome. So you don't have to build them up yourself. But I'm going to build them up myself today. Like if you have any pieces like this, like look, these are already built up in sticks, which are awesome for this. I'm gonna build these up myself. So you can use pieces like this. You can also use pieces like this that are more rounded. So we're making 2 long sticks of these. And again, use whatever colors you want. So you should make your tower, your like towers or your sticks about 8 ones tall, okay? About 8. So now I have 2 even sticks of 8. So these are going to be for my high bars. And now I'm going to connect them with a flat piece, something like this. And now I'm going to make a shorter stick, something like 5 or 4, something like that. Whoop. I'm going to put these on my board over here. So I'm going to make 2 more sticks now of like, let's see, I think of 5 Legos this time. Almost done. Okay, 1 more white piece. Sometimes it takes a long time to find the pieces that we need to build these things. Here we go. Perfect. Alright, so now I have 2 sticks of 5. Awesome. Okay, and now I'm gonna take another flat piece and connect them just like before. Okay. So I'm putting it on the top just like this. You can see just like I did before. And I'm going to put it a little bit in front of the other one. Let me angle you down. There you go. Put it in front. There. So now my gymnast Olympians can do their routines. So they can start up here on this bar and they can swing around and do stuff, and you can come up with routines for them, gymnastics routines, and they can come and they can land down here on this bar and swing around and stuff and do their routines, and this will be their first thing down here at the gymnastics area of the Olympics. All right, we are going to build one more thing here at our gymnastics area, which is a balance beam. So I'm guessing that most of you know what a balance beam is, but I'm going to show you a picture of it. Let me show you. So here we have a gymnast on a balance beam. You can see there she is. So they do routines on the balance beam and they do jumps and really amazing stuff. They balance and their bodies are really strong. It's just really incredible to watch them on the balance beam. So we're going to build a balance beam. All right. So let's do that. So here's how we're going to do it. We just need, you can do this like however you want, but you just need a few Legos. So we're going to need a long Lego, obviously, for the top of the balance beam. And then we're going to need some pieces to build it up off of the ground, okay? So let's grab our long Lego first. Let's see which one I want to use for mine. For my balance beam, I'm going to use this long Lego, and then we're going to put some pieces underneath it to get it up off of the ground, okay? So find some pieces that you can use, just a few on each end. We don't want to put pieces on the whole bottom, but just some on each end, okay? So I'm thinking that you should make 2 towers of Legos that are either this size or this size. Okay, so make 2 towers, this size or this size. Can you see that? All right, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make mine white. This is how I'm building it up. This is how it's going to look. I need to be a little taller than that though, but this is not going to take very long. It's not going to be very tall. There we go. There's my balance beam. You can see that. Alrighty, and I'm just going to put it over here. It's my balance beam. Alrighty. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Love it. So that is my gymnastics area for my Olympics. And then I will show you, here's a little gymnast Lego person walking on the balance beam, doing some tricks. You can come up with little gymnastics routines for your Lego Olympians to do on the balance beam. So you can do that later. All right, so that's my gymnastics area. Alrighty, I'm gonna move that to the side. There is still one more thing that we need to build here on our Build Time with Sarah, our Olympics week time. All right, we still need to build an Olympic medal award podium area so that when our Olympians win their medals, we have a place to give them to them. So I'm going to show you a picture again, just so you know what it looks like in real life. You can see that this is from the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. You can see how there's like 3 different levels for the gold, which is first place, and then silver, which is second place, and then bronze, which is third place. So there's like 3 different levels on the podiums, and that is where they will get their medals. So we're going to build a little area for our Olympians when they get their medals. All right. We're gonna need another little base. This one I'm just gonna use a tiny little piece because it's gonna be a really small building thing. I'm gonna put it down, and here's how we're gonna do this. So I'm going to do it color coded. So first for my gold, I'm gonna make it yellow. So I'm gonna use yellow pieces. And it's going to be the tallest because the gold is the first place and theirs is their area when the podium is usually the tallest, okay? So I'm going to, let me angle you down a little more. I'm going to start with them. I'm going to take some yellow ones. I'm going to take 2 ones like this and put them in the center. Like that. So they look like a square. And I'm actually going to take 2 more then and put them on top of them so that it's even taller, okay? You can see what that looks like. All right. And now for my second place, I'm going to do silver, okay? So for silver, silver is like gray. So I'm going to find some gray Legos, and you can too if you have some gray ones that you can find. See if I can find some grays and make a gray area next to my gold. So I'll basically need 4 pieces that are all this size. Trying to find my 4th one. I found 3, but I'm looking for my 4th gray one. Haha, found it. Okay. So I'm going to put 2 down over here on the side. Actually, I only need 2. I don't know what I was thinking. That's okay. I only need 2. Okay, because it needs to be lower than the gold one. So here's silver, and then I need bronze. So bronze is like brown. So I'm just going to find 2 ones that are brown. Found a bunch of tiny pieces, so I'm just going to cover up this area and pretend that I have bigger brown pieces. It is okay. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. Here is my podium. Yay. I love how it turned out. Okay. So I have my gold on top. I have that's my first place. I have silver over here, that's second place, and I have bronze here, which is third place. So that is my podium for my medal winners in the Olympics. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so here again is what we built today. We built an Olympic swimming pool. And we built an Olympic diving tank. We built an Olympic gymnastics area. And we built an Olympic awards podium area. So one more thing, if you want to keep on building, one more thing that you can build is bleachers for the people that come to watch the Olympics. They're going to need somewhere to sit to watch, right? So you can build some bleachers for them. To build bleachers, it's pretty similar to building a balance beam. You're going to just need some long pieces and then some pieces on the ends to get them up off of the ground. I know that you can figure that one out on your own. I'm sure you can, because you have some smart and creative brains. So thank you for joining me today for Build Time with Sarah. I am so glad that we got to hang out together for this time, and I hope that you'll join me again. So this is Sports Week on Get Your Play Online. We have a few more days of super fun sports activities for you, and I am so glad that you tuned in today, and thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. See ya.